Hello everyone, today we're going to take a look at a diagram of a freight brokering transaction. So, many of you were wondering how a typical freight brokering transaction takes place. So today we are going to use one of the videos from our course in order to outline step by step what is happening again in a typical transaction when freight is being brokered. Afterwards you will also see some vocabulary, professional vocabulary related to the transaction, just in case you are not familiar. You will get some definition as to who is who and what is what. So I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you afterwards.
Transaction diagram. Now let's briefly look at how a typical transaction would take place between the parties we have discussed in previous lessons. Company A, shipper, needs a load of paper to be delivered to Company B, receiver. Company A contacts a broker or several brokers and provides them with details of the shipment, such as the pickup date, the delivery date, weight, commodity, and the type of equipment needed. Now it is the broker's job to find a transportation company at the most affordable rate. Usually, a broker will post the load to a load board and wait for motor carriers or their dispatchers to contact them. The motor carrier or their dispatcher contact the broker and negotiate agreeable terms for the transportation of the shipment. We will assume that the freight broker and motor carrier came to an agreement. At this point, the broker will notify the shipper that they have covered the load, or in simple words, found a motor carrier who will transport their cargo. Broker and shipper may sign a contract also known as the broker-shipper agreement, or the shipper's packet. Then the broker and motor carrier will also exchange paperwork, such as a broker-carrier agreement and a rate confirmation. Once the paperwork process is completed, the motor carrier sends a truck to the shipper to collect the cargo. Along with the cargo, the driver will usually receive documents to accompany the freight, also known as the bill of lading or BOL. Once the cargo is delivered, the freight documents are being marked by the receiver as delivered and a copy is provided to the driver. At this point, the motor carrier can proceed with billing and charge the broker the agreed-upon rate. In turn, the broker will forward the delivery documents to the shipper along with the shipping invoice. At this point, the transaction is considered concluded. Now you just heard many words, so let's expand your vocabulary and define some of the words used in our examples. Truck dispatcher is a company or an individual working on behalf of a motor carrier to assist them with freight booking while maximizing efficient use of their equipment. The dispatcher's job is to make sure that any truck under their management is being used to the maximum capacity and generates as much revenue as possible. This is achieved by scouting load boards and other resources and trying to secure transportation agreements with brokers at the highest possible rate. Load board. An internet load board is an information exchange for companies in the trucking industry. A load board is generally set up for shippers and brokers to post loads that need to be moved. Carriers, owner-operators, and trucking companies search the load boards to find loads when looking for freight. The load board serves to provide better efficiency for almost every type of company in the industry. In some cases, the load boards also work in reverse, allowing the posting of available trucks that can be searched by freight brokers who have loads ready for transportation. Broker-shipper agreement, also known as the shipper's packet. This is an agreement signed between a freight broker and a shipper, and in some cases a receiver. It is a contract which outlines the rights and responsibilities of each party. It is not mandatory for you to sign such agreement with your client. However, it might be beneficial in case some unforeseen circumstances arise. Broker-carrier agreement, also known as the carrier packet, this is an agreement signed between a freight broker and a motor carrier. It is a contract which outlines the rights and responsibilities of each party. Before a load can be booked, most brokers will require a motor carrier to sign such an agreement. Rate confirmation. Once the broker-carrier agreement has been signed, the broker sends the carrier a document called the rate confirmation. This document has the details of the shipment which needs to be transported. The most important information contained within the rate confirmation is the pickup location and time, the delivery location and time, the weight, the commodity, and the rate to be paid for the transportation of this cargo. Bill of lading, also known as the BOL or freight bills, is a legal document between the shipper of goods and the carrier detailing the type, quantity, and destination of the goods being carried. The bill of lading also serves as a receipt of shipment when the goods are delivered at the predetermined destination. POD stands for Proof of Delivery. POD is basically a copy of the freight bill signed by the consignee or the receiver. Now that you have an idea as to what a typical transaction looks like, let's move on to the next lesson and answer one very important question.
So I hope you enjoyed this video and have a better understanding of how typical transaction takes place. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. And with all that being said, we are going to wrap up this video and I will see you next time.